Okay everyone, this episode's about the most iconic spaceship in the galaxy, the Millennium Falcon. Okay, welcome everyone to another episode of the Toy Smuggler. And today's about the Millennium Falcon. I got two different versions here today. We have the 1995 release, and the reason I'm using this one, I have a vintage one, but I got it safely boxed up. I don't keep it out. But there's very little difference between the 95 and the 77 mark, which is actually 78, but release of that, the early bird one. And this is the iconic Legacy Falcon. So, and we'll really show a comparison of how things have changed over the years and why I think the classic still holds its own, and that's what we're going to dive into today and discuss a little bit more about this, alright? Like I said, this is the 95 version. This is that second wave of the Powers of the Force when it came out, and they re-released, they used all the same old molds, just changed the color of the plastic, and they went from a white plastic to this gray. And I even colored mine, and plus there's heavy dust on mine. So mine probably looks a little bit darker than what it should. But almost all the play features on the 95 are exactly the same. I think they changed some of they added more stickers to this version than what was on the original version. And I think, in my opinion, I like the look of the 95 version quite a bit better. And some of the other minor changes was these, and that's one thing I like, these really come off very easy, is in the back, I'll show you a better picture of this, is the card, down the middle of this, they have a cardboard like splitter here in the middle of the back of the ship and everything. They changed the look of that from the original. That's the only thing, but it really matches better the true aesthetic of how the flow of the ship's supposed to go versus the original. The original looked more like you're running into a wall and the figures can't go nowhere. This one kind of gives the illusion that they can actually walk into the cockpit that the original one didn't. So like I said, I think that was an upgrade, and the look of the cardboard wall looks amazing. They done it looks same style as the original one. But all the play features in the back are the same. It says it has the Diorama chess sets, which the only thing different here is I think the original one was like a navy blue. This one's more of a black. Like I said, it still looks great. If you don't have an original one, look for one of these. It will bring you the same satisfaction to have it. And it also has the same door with the figures hidden in the cargo compartments, the stowaway compartments. So all the features are the same. Like I said, this minor changes on stickers, and like I said, the quality is just as good as the original. So if you don't, like I said, if you don't have that original one, this one's a great one to pick up. And they come out with another version around 2000. They made some upgrades with some kind of projectile that shoots out. New electronics in the back showing the glow. Don't get me wrong, that one's nice, and I think they reinforced the landing gear. So that was a nice, the 2000 is a nice upgrade if you like all the crazy electronics. Me, I'm not all into the electronic gimmicks. I mean, they're good where they're needed to be done, and like I said, I don't mind that on the 2000 when they did put that back. I think that looks neat, but having this projectile that comes out of the front one is just unnecessary, which unfortunately Hasbro's bad to add little gimmicks that are just not in the play features that was from the movies. So only thing I wish that they would have done on this right here is maybe worked out a new adjustment on the hatch. So, but I don't know, when you're working with these, everybody's going to remember these are big, huge metal dies that stamp that these things get prediction molding that goes into these. So these are extremely expensive, so they probably don't want to mess with it. So, and I wish during the Force Awakens, instead of making that god-awful Millennium Falcon with the Nerf crap launcher that flips out of the top of it, I wish they would have went back to this old mold and reuse that for the Force Awakens, and let it come with that cloth covering tarp thing, rag it out. It would have been a lot better. So versus than what they did come out with. So, but all in all, this is a great ship. And also, I want to mention this: One of the major hiccups of this old 95 or even vintage one is the rear landing gear. And it don't take long, and it weakens, and it just don't work. You got to push some plastic, or I got some folded cardboard here that goes inside the landing skirts. That way it keeps it from going back in there. It's just a weak design. The new ones, when they come out, it actually, when it goes past a certain point, they pop out and lock, which is amazing to upgrade. Like I said, if you like this, but you want some cool electronics and a few minor upgrades in quality, look for the 2000 version. But if you want more of the classic vintage style, but you don't want to pay that $200 vintage price, go with the 95 version. So, alright guys, here we go. The Legacy Falcon. This is probably it's made for the action, 3 3/4 action figures. This is the largest Falcon ever made. And it is just amazing. It is cool. I'm here to tell you, it's boy, if we had this as a kid, we would have had a fit. I tell you what, it's just got a lot of amazing play features, and I'll tell you what, just on display, it looks amazing. I mean, it's got a lot. We can compare the cockpits here. This one folds this way, and the cool thing on this one, we open this up, I'll get a better shot on this, is the cool thing on it, it's actually the first ever Millennium Falcon came out with a 4-seater, and they rotate up and back. They're adjustable for the Chewbacca or whoever's going to be sitting in the seat. Just amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, let's see, no, that's stationary. And one of the other ones, they got the flip. This is a stationary piece, but it's very detailed out. Great stickers, a lot of 3D detail. Just amazing. It's one of the best cockpits I've ever seen. So it's just like I said, and the detail, don't get me wrong, the detail on the vintage style ones are great, but when you get up here and compare them to the vintage style of the newer one, whoa, you just will blow your mind. Now, one thing they did different on this, where they used the rear of the ship to do all the play action scene. Now on this one, they used the front of it. Let me see if I can remember here. Yes, there's one panel. Instead of just only one panel, this one has two. And I'm trying to remember exactly. There we go. Remember where all the tabs are at. And I'll get a better shot in this. But you got two different panels, so it's more like if you ever seen the blueprints, I'll try to put a shot of that up, how the Millennium Falcon layout's supposed to be. And this is closer to the true layout than any others before. So, and like I said, I got a great deal. These go for around $300 to $500. I think $300 missing parts. And if you want a fully complete one, you're looking at pushing $500. I got lucky. I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee at a convention, and a guy had one. It's just missing like I didn't have no I made my own landing gear. I made my own guns. I found someone else who had one of these, and I borrowed the parts, molded them. So I made my own, because landing gear for this thing is pushing $50 to $75. And it cost me like $10 to make a copy of them. So, and the guns, like I said, and I didn't care that I don't like projectile firing stuff. I like stuff that looks nice on display, and I like my Falcon to look a little dirty and a little rough. So like I said, I looked up, and a guy had one of these, just missing the landing gear and a couple parts on the inside, and it's missing the escape hatch ship, which I really didn't care much about that. I got it for $80. So, I mean, when I met that guy, and he had that, it tortured me for like 30 minutes, and I just had to let it go. Because I knew, once I researched real quick on my phone, how much these things, at that time they was going for like just $300. Now, like I said, they're already, 2 years later, they're creeped up to $500. $80 was a steal, and I had to say, in all of my Star Wars collection, this has probably been the most satisfying $80 I've ever spent. So, like I said, and on the sound effects now, it has, let me turn it on here. Yeah, you got a button here. It does have amazing sound effects, lights inside. It's got some more buttons here. I mean, gosh, the volume on these things are amazing. And it's got some voices, I believe. That's the engine, yeah. Engines and Chewbacca. And one of the buttons activates the chest set. I can't remember how it goes here. Oh, okay, it might be one of these buttons way over here.
blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
And some recordings from A New Hope. So, a lot of great sound effects, and one of the other cool effects here, I'll get a better shot of this, is when you let the ramp down. But ladies and gentlemen, and like I said, they keep saying they're not going to be coming back out with this again because of the high price point of remaking this. It just costs too much. So my thing is, they keep making these, like I said, the new Solo film. That's why I'm doing this, is because the new Solo film's coming out here in a couple weeks. And, you know, and they come out with this new $100 Millennium Falcon, which is, I hate to say this, Hasbro, it's a joke. I thought it was a joke just looking at it on the internet, and I seen it at Walmart. It's a complete, total laughing stock and mockery of all the Star Wars vehicles ever made. It is a discrimination to the classic Millennium Falcon. I mean, it's just like, guys, you own the mold. Why don't you just come back out with this again? So, and that's why I wish the Force Awakens and Solo, you got an amazing classic ship right here that does the job. And you spend all this money on making new cast die metal molds, and you talk about how expensive it is, and you complain that's why you're giving us all these high prices on these crappy ships, when you own one of the best action figure toys ever made. Man, this is a classic ship. It looks the part, it's got playability, and the new style action figures fit in it probably better than the old style ones, because the new ones are even a little bit thinner. So it just kills me that you're not going back. This is a true home run of a spaceship, and it just kills me that you guys keep making crap. Because what you could have done was, you could come out with this new movie Solo, 2 versions of this. Because that's the one thing I'm kind of skeptical about the Solo movie. And I don't really want to say nothing negative about it, because I've not seen it, of course. So, but I will say this, the only thing I've not liked, what I've seen in the trailers, is the Millennium Falcon looking like brand new. It looks like a Cadillac, and it looks like crap. And, you know, the Millennium Falcon supposed to be, now I'm hoping in the movie that at the beginning of the movie you see the Falcon and it's perfectly clean, and when Han Solo gets his hands on it, he spends the rest of the movie just ragging the damn thing out. So if he does that, fine. But if you don't do that, and at the end of the movie it's still pretty and clean, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. So, but what they could have done with this classic style ship, come out with a bright white one, slick interior, and then come out with a second version of it totally ragged out. I mean, you could have, with this old classic style, you could have probably sold this thing for $50 to $75 instead of coming out with a $100 piece of crap, Hasbro. So you're really making some bad decisions. You don't do a Han Solo movie and come out with a crap Millennium Falcon. It just, right here it is. You own the mold, use the damn thing. Come on, I hate to be ugly about it, but some common sense. And I wish, I want to end on this kind of note right here, and I wish what they would do, I know they can't make, they said this costs too much, but I wish what they do is take this scene right here with the chess set, and was this right here in the Millennium Falcon, this is where most of the action happened in the New Hope film. I wish they'd take this one section and make a big diorama out of it. And I'm going to show you a picture. I'm actually working on one myself. I'll take a shot of it and show it to you here of what I'm working on. It's going to be a true scale. That way, if this ship was blown up to 5 foot, it'll be true to scale to the 3 3/4 inch figures, and make diorama on that. You don't need the whole ship, but that way a kid can play with this ship, and then when he wants to go to a true diorama to play out the rest of it, he has the diorama to move to. So you got this one to kind of play around and go on adventures outside, but when you're inside on a rainy day and your mom don't want you running around like an idiot, you can sit there with your diorama and still be having the action with the Millennium Falcon, and it'd be true to scale. So Hasbro, that's my thought. I think that would be an amazing design to come out with, and you can come out with it extremely, we're looking at a $30, $40 range for that diorama, and the kids would go nuts over it. And actually, adult collectors would go nuts over it too. It'd be great to set up the classic figures with, or even the newer figures. So it works on both, one item works on both scales and both customers. So, alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Toy Smuggler, and this is, like I said, my quick point of view on more of the classic style Millennium Falcon and the Legacy. I love both of these. I think they're both just this one right here, like I said, was the kind that I played with as a kid and just fell in love, and I fell in love with again in '95. And I had to say, but this one right here, it really caught me by surprise, and just like I said, this one I leave out for display in my office. And then, like I said, this is whoever come up with this idea hit a home run. And Hasbro, we need more ideas. Go back to your old molds. Give the people back the classic vehicles and figures that won our hearts to start with. Because right now, Hasbro, you're losing us. We're slipping through your fingers. And this is a very nice wake-up call, and I'm telling you, go back to what works. And the classic style works. And you own the molds, and it's cheaper anyway. It's a win-win for everybody. So that's my point of view. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the episode of the Millennium Falcon. And I'm the Toy Smuggler, and catch you later.